All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. I was going to jump on and talk about the housing sector in depth here today. I'm going to postpone that because I want to do something a little bit different here today. It's something a little more trade relevant to right here, right now. One of the things that I am noticing, and this isn't anything new, but anytime there's a market pullback or consternation, it creates a lot of anxiety, it creates a lot of stress, it creates a lot of questions, it creates a lot of, oh, now what do I do? And oh no, what if this happens and all of that? And why is this happening? Or what's going on here? What's going on there? Right? There's a million different, questions. And the reality is we go answer them all, and it's not going to do us any good. Right? We can go talk about the U.S. Saudi Turkish relationship till we're blue in the face. Is it going to matter? No, because while we're talking about it, while we're fretting over what's going to happen there, and while we're discussing what's going to happen there, well, there's going to be price action that goes and moves, and by the time we figure out what's going on there, everything will have already moved. So it doesn't really do a heck of a whole lot of good. And not something that, when we get into an environment like this, that I think is all that relevant, right? And ultimately, it'll play out how it plays out, and that could be very positive, that could be very negative, for various stocks. But let's go see if we can see anything in the price action, or can we put together a very simple model for identifying the best stocks to trade after a correction, and then how to trade them, right? Because last thing we want is to be buying too much when the market's all still correcting and, get lambasted a few times. But we still want to be in. So where do we find them, and where do we trade them? Okay. I'm going to show we're going to use two simple techniques. The first is to find them. We're going to come into FinViz. You've seen me use this site before. And the reason I'm going here is it's free. Anyone can use it free of charge. And it also shows the data very cleanly and very easily. So I'm going to come up here to Screener. All right, I'm going to come up here to Screener. And what I want to see, right, I'm going to go under a thesis here. I'm going to go under a thesis that the top performing stocks early after a correction will be the top performing stocks beyond. And that kind of goes along with the thesis we talked about the other day, where stocks that are going to make new highs, stocks that kind of make new highs after this correction, the ones that make the new highs the soonest, they're going to do the best going forward. Now, there will always be exceptions and things like that, but in general, great way to kind of find things. Now, I want to just look for stocks that, stocks that are going to be optionable. So I'm going to narrow this down to the S&P 505. And we'll come in here, and let me get rid of this ad. My apologies. All right, looks like the audio is off on it. But we'll come in here, and we see it gives us the data here. But there's this little button up here that says performance, right? Performance. And I'm going to click on performance. And now I can see performance for the last week, performance for the last month, performance last quarter, half, performance year to date. Great. I don't care about all that. What I do care about is the performance on the week. And I want to find the ones that are doing the best, the ones that are performing the best, the ones that are starting to emerge. I'll grant you, I believe it's still just a little too early to really do this and to do this incredibly effectively. I think it's still one of those where I'm not going to read too much into the data that I get today, but as we go into tomorrow and into next week, I think it'll be much more relevant, and I'll show you why. But I'm going to click on performance for the week. And we're going to see a bunch of negatives, right? Down 27%, 23%, 20%. Right? You'll notice most of these have had earnings or something along those lines, right? Wow, Valero, that's ugly. But these stocks are down huge, right? I know the natural inclination is to be a bottom picker and say, well, it's down so big, let me play a snapback. But you know what? Stocks don't generally work that way. All right, my apologies for the pause here. I'm getting a message that Summer experienced some buffering issue here like this morning. Unfortunately, that's not something I have control over here. Yeah, let's do this here. I'm waiting for word from Michelle here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this video, do this recording, and then it'll be posted and you can access it without any buffering. So none of this is really real-time pertinent or right to this second pertinent. So this is more of a process kind of going forward there. Okay. No. All right, I am going to do the opposite. I'm going to hop off here for a second, and I'm going to have them take a look at some things, and hopefully I'll be back here in about 20 minutes. But when I do, the stuff we're going to talk about is not real-time pertinent. This is kind of, going forward, looking day to day, sorting the market out and being able to, number one, sort it out, and number two, trade it. We'll talk to you soon.